Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Moab. From its towering rock structures, hidden canyons, flowing rivers, and hidden trails throughout the landscape, this is a paradise for 4x4s. But this is not where our journey begins. No, no, no. It actually begins here. But this lovely weather you guys are seeing on the screen right now doesn't last for very long.
You know, the weather said it was supposed to be sunny and like 92 degrees. I don't know. Mother Nature is just out to get me sometimes, I swear. My goodness, she is just dumping. No warning, it just boom. It's like, wow. Hopefully this doesn't stay long because I'd like to get out and dry off my tent and pack it up because I was in the process of packing up camp. Mother Nature.
What a mess. I was cooking breakfast, getting ready to take the tent down, and Mother Nature opened up the heavens. Holy crap, she downpoured, and for like 35 minutes, just straight downpour. So much for everything being dry. So one of the whole purposes of why we came out to Moab was because it was supposed to be sunny all week, in the 90s, dry, warm. I got nothing to do but laugh. I was just, Mother Nature just coming in at that one inopportune moment. Got me while I was cooking. Breakfast was really, really good. I was gonna show you guys the final outcome, and then I ended up rushing so I could eat in the Jeep and put everything kinda out of the way. Holy shoot. Holy crap. Okay, well, we got some drying off to do. I gotta dry the whole back end of the Jeep and all of my cooking stuff because I pretty much just kind of put it on the ground and closed up the back of the Jeep. And we gotta dry out the tent because I don't think the sun, if I point you upwards, just take a look. You can see there's blue skies back there. They are slowly coming. Very slowly. But I ain't gonna be able to get that thing dried out, so we're gonna have to find camp earlier today, but I'm gonna have to take some, good thing I brought some extra towels, but we're gonna have to dry that thing out, dry it all off as best I can so I can pack it up. Because we were supposed to be out on the trail almost an hour ago. Woo! Loving Mother Nature. It's never an adventure without Mother Nature throwing something.
Well, good morning. Now that our morning shower is done, so unexpected, we are here at Cameo Cliffs. We are on the trail. We just started. It is going to be a ton of fun. We are out here in Moab for the week. It is supposed to be nice and clear, awesome skies, good weather. Now, each day we are going to be doing a different trail. I have them all planned out. I've got them all marked on Gaia. The reason is last time I was out here, I was just wandering around aimlessly and kind of just getting lost and a little frustrated because I couldn't find things. Well, this time I took the time to plan stuff. This isn't the first time I've been out to Moab now. And I chose routes that most people don't typically do and that I've never done. None of the routes that we will be doing I have done. Now, last night we got in late. It was around 9 o'clock, just after 9 that we got in, and I camped in my typical spot that I do when I am passing through Moab, which is on the southern outskirts of Moab. Perfect little area. It was awesome. Had the whole area to myself. I didn't have that last time, so it was really cool to have that whole area to myself.
Located around 32 miles south of Moab and rated at a 4, Cameo Cliffs is around a 20-mile trail with a bunch of different mixes of terrains and obstacles throughout it. This is going to allow me to really test the new setup that I have with the Jeep, really push it to its limits and see just where improvements are needed and if things are truly working. And honestly, guys, there were a few surprises throughout this whole week's adventure that I found. Now, Cameo Cliffs has been around for a long time, but before being called Cameo Cliffs, the trail and the surrounding area were actually part of the old mineral exploration route. See, back in 1950 till 1984, most of Moab and the trails that we know today were actually mining tracks. Then in 1984, when most of the mining had pretty much gone up, the Bureau of Land Management and the state began actually acquiring the land and turning it into recreational areas that we use today. Now, the Red Rock four-wheelers created the Cameo Cliffs route back in 1990 after extensive exploration of the area. On this route, you will see, pass, and tackle Cameo Mesa, go across the Hook and Ladder Wash, and climb up to Dragon Rock, and even more features. Now you all know that when I wheel with the intention that I'm going to push my rig, but to the point that it still can get me home. And throughout my adventures here in Moab, you are going to hear me tap and sometimes drop the Jeep onto its skid plans or rock sliders. And honestly guys, I'm here to work my Jeep and to test it. I'm not going to be afraid of scratching up the skid plates or the rock sliders. That's what they're there for. This isn't a mall crawler. I'm here to actually have some fun and see what I can do in my Jeep. Now, while I'm doing this, I know I'm not damaging any of the critical components. I am ensuring that my Jeep is still going to run and get me home at the end of the day. Now, there will be one trail on this whole adventure where I probably pushed the Jeep just a little further than it should have, but I'm going to save that for later on.
Why I love coming out to Moab the wheel, because it is just, if you choose the right trails, they can be very technical, at the same time super scenic, or you can have just scenic trails. They got all the levels of trails here, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it. Love it. And I am putting these new wheels and tires to work. And so far, they have been working amazing. Okay, this right here might be the most challenging climb up I've ever done in the Jeep. It can be done in this Jeep. It's just gonna be a bit of a challenge. Let's tackle this challenge head on. Challenging part, I put the camera right where I need to go. Damn it. Let me go move the camera. Ease off it.
Ooh, don't like that sound.
Let's try a different line here, shall we? Because the line I chose, I just don't have enough clearance to climb. There we go. Gotta fix the line a little bit. Ooh, that was the most challenging climb I think I've ever done in the Jeep. Sweet! That was a pleasant spot to eat lunch. Wow, that view was gorgeous. I'll be honest, I was paying more attention to the trail, and for whatever reason, I just looked over my shoulder and boom, there was that view. It was amazing. So I decided to give the Jeep a little break, cool off some, eat some food, as I was starting to get hungry. Man, that was awesome. And it's a completely different view than the view from this morning. That is one of the things I love about Moab, is you can go on all these different trails, and because they scatter them all over, this trail is literally 10 miles from where I had camp last night, where I pitched camp. And the view is completely different than the view that I had from camp. It's just amazing how you just move a few miles and then boom, the view is completely different. And that's how it is all throughout Moab. Just go a few miles one direction and you look, and the view is completely different than it was a few miles ago. It just allows you to have such an awesome and different perspective of the landscape everywhere you go. It's never going to be the same. Yes, the mountain is the exact same that you're going to see. It's off in the distance. It's always going to be there, but the view you get of it is completely different every single time. And unless you go back to that same exact spot, does the view, will it not change? Man.
So far today, guys, the journey has been great. This trail has been a ton of fun, and despite having all that rain in the morning, it was still super dusty out on the trail. But I've been loving the challenges of the obstacles and especially the views, guys. Once you get up higher, you just get to see for miles of just nothing but the slick rock and Moab. It was amazing. Now the Jeep has been performing excellent. It has been tackling everything I've thrown at it, and I've had no issues. There has been a little rubbing though when it is completely flexed out with the 35s, but it isn't too bad.
If y'all could see how steep this next part is, holy crap, I wasn't expecting it. Here we go. I know the cameras aren't going to do this justice. This sucker's steep. Here we go. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Woo! Almost there. Just can't see. Oh, how steep that little drop off is. Easy. There we go. Okay. That was sweet. Not being able to see the little drop-offs as the ledge dips, though, that's a whole nother feeling, guys. Whole nother feeling. I had to take off my hat so I don't lose it out here. But I don't know if you guys can tell. The camera's not doing it justice, I know. But that thing was freaking steep. Don't get me wrong, I know there are some other ones out here in Moab that are much steeper, but for me, that was the steepest descent I've ever done. Heck yeah. Woo! Woo! This trail got some tight brush real quick. We came down off the rocks and we're back in the weeds and everything, but this trail is just absolutely weeds and tight brush. Holy cow. It's nuts. Now it's opened back up. Holy cow. I don't know how many trees just hit the Jeep on the side, just taking it out. Oh my goodness. Had to roll up the window because it was just shooting branches into the Jeep. That was not what I was expecting at all.
Today has been an absolute blast over the past 6 hours here on the Cameo Trail. From the challenges and the views, I highly recommend this route if you guys have never done it. It is an absolutely stunning thing to see, and the fact that there are obstacles throughout the trail just help break up the easiness of it. Now, however, it is time to start looking for camp. Now, my goal on this whole trip is to find a new campsite every night, and I have a bunch of different spots marked out, and hopefully they haven't been taken, but let's go see what.
Well, guys, I found camp. It took a little bit, mostly because I spent a little bit of time in Moab itself. I washed off the Jeep. It's actually kind of mud-free. Washed it off, filled it up. I was talking with Lindsay for a little bit, and then I started hunting for camp. And one of the spots I had marked out, I couldn't go there, mainly because it's a bighorn sheep breeding area. I had no idea. All these signs all over the place when I got there, so nixed that. Came back out, came back towards the Gemini Trail more. I'm not on the Gemini Trail, but I came back that way more, and I had another spot marked. Came to it. Money. Oh my goodness, is it amazing. First off, this lovely rock slab, which is level to put my tent on. First, good. Second, I can level off the Jeep pretty damn easily. Cooked well, number 2. Finally, this. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but let me send you to the drone footage. That's a pretty awesome camp spot, yeah? I just took a chance. I wanted something with a view. Now, don't get me wrong. If I was to go back up that way just a little bit past the Jeep, there is an area that has less trees in front of it, so this view would not be quite as obstructed with these trees. it's more open, but the issue is there is zero area level enough to put my tent. If I had like a rooftop tent, I could chuck a few rocks under the back tires, make the Jeep level, and I'd have been good to go. But right here is perfect. I'm kind of tucked up in here a little more. I've got some protection from the wind, and honestly, I can still see the view. Way out there, I know the camera doesn't show it justice. I get it. But I got the La Salle Mountains in front of me. I've got Moab and Arches National Park right over there, and just miles and miles and miles of view and greenery and awesomeness. And it is like 73 degrees right now. Boom! There's another one. Oh, I'm loving this spot. Now here shortly I am going to start a fire just to kind of have something to hang out around. Because I can, and why not? But guys, this is an awesome way to end a great day of adventuring. Oh my goodness. It is fantastic. I love overlanding. I love the fact that I can just pack up, go, hit some trails, explore, see new things, and then find a new campsite every night, pitch up, and have something else to look at. And here in Moab, there's always a way to find a view. There always is. And because this is Monday, this is, what is it? I think it's Labor Day is today. Most people had a 3-day weekend and they've now gone home. I'm doing mine backwards. I started today, so there was nobody. I saw nobody on the trail, and looking for camp, I saw nobody. The art of silence is awesome. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's adventure. Don't worry, there are more adventures to come, but each adventure is going to be its own thing because each trail is 20 plus miles long, and I have a whole week of fun ahead of me. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. The links to my other social media accounts are in the description below, along with some of the parts that are on my Jeep as well. I have had some people ask, so I'm going to put them in the description as well. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all out on the trail.
Y'all come out on this trail, be very careful of the hidden rocks launched up in the air. All I could see was the trail, boom, up in the air.